Welcome back to my series. If you haven't watched the other videos, go ahead and watch them. I believe this is my third video talking about how I left Christianity and evangelicalism particular behind. When I discovered there were other gods, I started studying what the other gods, how people worship their other gods. And I discovered that there was Buddhism and there was the Buddha. I looked into what the books that I had, my limited textbook knowledge of the Buddha, and I thought, this man was bloody brilliant. He literally gave up everything so he could experience everything. So, and the thoughts he had were just like mind-blowing. I was like, this dude I can get down with. He was cool, And then from there, I discovered that there were other types of belief systems in the Eastern culture. I'm still studying the Eastern cultures to discover more because I like to understand what people believe and I like to further expand my knowledge. So I've just gotten into Eastern traditions, really. So I started reading more about the Greek mythology, and I started reading more about Norse mythology because I noticed a similarity between Odin and Zeus. I also noticed a similarity between Odin, Zeus, and Jupiter in the Roman beliefs. And then I discovered Shiva, and I also discovered accidentally Kali, and I liked Shiva and Kali, and I was like, you guys are awesome. So I started looking more into other gods and goddesses, and my study of the Celtic gods, I believe, I'm going to say it wrong because I don't speak Gaelic, but I believe they were called the Dagda, and I was looking at them and I was like, these people are freaking awesome. So I started studying them, and that showed me that there was a belief system called Druids, and I thought they were freaking awesome too, because all the magical stuff that I had been looking at in Celtic belief systems made sense now. Because when I was here's another sidebar, wild tangent here. When I was 10 years old, no, it wasn't 10, I was about 13. I was obsessed with buying books, and I bought a old journal, or what I thought was a big leather-bound journal from freaking CHKD thrift store, because I was a sickly person because of the divine healing that wasn't working, and clearly because I asked too many damn questions, I pissed off he himself, and he himself was angry with me, which is why I was born pretty much with a bad esophagus that doesn't actually close completely sometimes. I was born with asthma, also born with, I got diabetes when I was about 10. But anyway, anything that could go wrong with me was going wrong. So, I spent a lot of time in the house, and books were my best friend, because this was pre-technology that we have today. No cell phones were not easily and readily available. There were no tablets or anything. So I had to have real books, and I had an extensive collection. But I got a lot of my books from the CHKD bookstore and the Goodwill and the Salvation Army bookstore, book sections in their thrift stores. So I was in KD one day, and I found a big wooden chest. And inside that wooden chest was a bunch of cool stuff, like the coolest jewelry I'd ever seen, first pentagram I ever saw in my whole life, and a big leathered bound journal. And I thought to myself, these people only want $10 for this cool box with this freaking awesome book in it. So I opened it up and I showed them everything on the chest, and I said, is it $10 for just the box, or does everything in it go with it? And they were like, yeah, it's all like a set. It was all donated together. So yeah, $10 is all we want. And me happened to have saved up my allowance, so I had $20 on me. I bought the box. That was my introduction to witchcraft. It was beautiful. It was a grimoire, and apparently somebody's great aunt had died, and they just donated everything that didn't sell at the estate sale to CHKD. And I was the lucky one who stumbled across it. Oh my God. It was a book of dark magic. I won't lie. It had necromancy in it. It talked about how to get back at people who were mean to you, how to make mean things happen just by using the power that's in everything and around everything. And I thought to myself, according to the New Testament, Jesus said we could do the same things he did and then greater. So, I wonder if I mixed Jesus with this, if it would work. Well, Christian witchcraft, later. We'll talk about that later. But it was fun. I got that. Unfortunately, my parents found it and eventually burned the shit out of it. And pretty much threw the jury away. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right now. Auntie, whoever owned this book before me, Auntie had great taste. She had a legit real emerald ring, which was bewitched. She had a diamond, she had an opal, she had a ruby, and she had a blue sapphire. And a yellow one. I can't remember. I think it was topaz. But they were legit real when I got them appraised. And I was so angry because my parents tried to burn the rings, but I was able to get them out the ashes. Haha. But anyway, that was another thing that got me exorcised, because clearly the devil had taken hold of me to make me want to buy a book that had a pentagram on it. First of all, a box had a pentagram on it. First of all, you guys they never told us what Satan and his work looked like. They just said, beware of Satan. He's a deceiver. He's here to freaking mess you up, pretty much. He's horrible. He's against God. Okay, but you never showed me what a pentagram was. I saw it and thought, dude, that's a weird looking Star of David, but I'll take it. I had no idea that it was a pentagram. So, because like I said, they thought they were Judeo-Christian too. They had a couple of black Jewish people who led certain types of temple services we had in that cult. It was crazy. But anyway, we'll talk about them later. So yeah, that was my introduction to witchcraft. I don't know why I went off on that wild tangent. Let's see what the card says. Oh yeah, okay, so I get why I went off on that tangent. So, what I was going to say is that during all my different studies in secret for answers and the truth, I found a whole lot of stuff that I hadn't been told about that maybe I should have been warned about. Just saying. They told me there was no such thing as other gods. The rest of them were just, imaginary friends that these people were trying to worship. There is some animal pelting my car right now. So I'm just going to move a little. I guess I'm in its way. So here we go. But anyway. Yep. That's what they didn't tell us. And so, I went through high school and everything, hating everything that I had been taught in the past, not believing that any of it was true, and it not sitting right with me for any reason, and kept all that to myself. A couple of my cousins realized that I wasn't happy, and they had left our cult too, and so they invited me to a different denomination called non-denominational, which I was like, what the fuck does that mean? But anyway, their service was different. They had charismatic belief of prosperity gospel. Another bunch of bullshit, in my opinion. Yeah, you don't have because you haven't tithed enough. You don't have because you haven't given offerings enough. Pastor sitting here with $1 million mansion and driving Mercedes, BMWs, and Jaguars. But us poor bitches are poor still because we haven't given as much as he has. Yeah, you get where I'm going with that. So, I did that for a few years. And then I realized I'm not happy here. This bullshit makes no more sense. Oh, it makes less sense to me because instead of God being this evil motherfucker I'm supposed to be afraid of, he loves me, and he just loved for me to give him more money so he could show me how much he loved me. Bunch of bullshit still. Like I said, But yeah. After that, I was like, okay, what the fuck ever. Not going back to church because it's all bullshit, and I'm now 21, so they technically can't make me. So when I was working, I'd just get scheduled. I told them I was available Saturday through Thursday because I wanted Thursday and Friday off, but I could work Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So that was the shifts I kept getting because Wednesday was Bible study, Sunday was church, Tuesday choir rehearsal or some shit like that. Whatever. But anytime anything religious, I was busy on, thankfully. But yeah. Ran around being a heathen for a little while. And then all of a sudden, my parents decided that since I couldn't decide what I want to do in college, they needed to decide for me. And it's kind of funny because I was paying my way through college, not my parents. So they really didn't have anything to say about it. But I was like, no, I'm just going to work more. Help take care of my mom because my mom's health was really, really failing at that time. And worked off and on at different places. Went to Disney for a year. Happiest place I had ever been. Happiest place on earth. I won't talk about them too much. I liked the experience I had there. I got experience of the cultures. Do things for myself and be on my own. It was so phenomenal. And I loved it very much. And I'm very thankful for Disney for having their college programs and their work programs. I'm very thankful for that. So thanks to Disney. But other than that, I don't have much to say about that. I came back home, couldn't decide what I wanted to do, so I worked more because by that time the college I was going to had discontinued my major. So I was like, fuck it, if I'm starting something else, well, put your credits, your your basic credits towards your other one. Well, guess what? I'd already taken all the math, science, and whatever other bullshit I needed, including physical education. So I only had to pick another major and just go with it. None of those majors sat with me. I tried and tried and tried. It didn't work. So I said, you know what? I'll just become a paralegal. And I went to paralegal studies there. Got the best teacher ever. Her name is Nicole. Nicole is awesome. She helped me understand that where I was not happy, and what I wanted to do was be an actress and a lawyer. So she told me, hey, my alma mater that I graduated from just opened up their undergrads, and they have a film program, an acting program, and they have pre-law. You can literally take all these credits, because I had like 250 by that time, transfer those that will transfer over to there and get your bachelor's degree, have your pre-law knocked out, and double major so you can do pre-law and like acting or film. Well, I got there and I was like, okay, I'm gonna think about it. So I let it sit. I simmered on that for 2 years because I'm a hard nut to crack. And even when someone's looking out for my best interest, which I wasn't used to, I still can't do it for some reason. So yeah, I took her offer, or took her suggestion. And I decided to go there after my younger sister, she's 10 years younger than me. She decided to go to a Christian college. She got a scholarship to one for a music program, and I went there. They were Baptist college. I went there and I was like, oh my God, I like it here, but they didn't offer anything I wanted. So I went to the local college right here in Virginia, where I'm from, and it's a local Christian school. It's evangelical, which made my parents very happy. And I got there and I was like, okay, I'm going to do law and I'm going to do film because I've done theater acting enough. I just want to do film. I don't know everything there is to do with film, so I'm just going to go to school there. Well, we're running out of time again, so you guys, I'm sorry about all the tangents I went off on, but stay tuned for tomorrow's video, and I will be right back to tell you more about my college years and how I went from seminary to who I am today. As always, take care, stay safe. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.